It was at the tender young age of 10 or 11 years of age that I had a visitation. It wasn't the visitation of an angel, but the Spirit of God. And indeed, it was a vision in the night time. I found myself having an experience I'd never had before in my life. As I laid in bed, I was looking at the wall, and suddenly a circular opening came in the wall. It was like a portal or something like that, but it was circular, and it grew wider and wider and wider. And I, of course, thought it was a tunnel. But I was terrified, and I remember my young heart beating and beating and beating, wondering what was happening. And then something extraordinary started to happen in this visionary experience. I was being pulled feet first towards this opening that had appeared in the wall, and I was being pulled right into it, and I could see there was some light shining further down that tunnel or that passageway, and I was pulled further and further down, and then I saw what to me was an extraordinary sight. I saw a man on some kind of robe, but all I could see was this amazing glow from his waist downwards with brilliant light. And I looked up. I was going to look at his face, but I wasn't allowed. And then I went back like that, and the vision ended. So I call this a vision of the night, because it was a night time. And of course I didn't understand anything about this. And at that time I just started going to the secondary school in Bingley in West Yorkshire. And our English teacher asked if we had had any strange experiences in life or something unusual, to write it like a little essay in our books. And I remember writing about this experience, and the English teacher called me to her desk in the class time, and she said these words: "Was this a dream or something else?" And she looked at me a little bit puzzled, and I said, "No, it wasn't a dream." Many years later, of course, I realized that I'd stood before the Lord on his judgment seat. And that was a terrifying experience for a 10-year-old child. And you would have thought maybe I would have behaved a lot better as a child after that. But I seemed to go on as normal, and I'm sure I sinned if I think about things I did, as we all do. And it wasn't until 18 years of age that I became regenerated and born again by the Spirit of God. So I knew these experiences, that the Lord had his hand upon me even from my childhood. And there are other experiences and dreams I had which were earlier than this, which I'll do on a separate video. So this is only very short. But it's a terrifying thing to stand before, to be summoned before the living God, before his Son. And everyone will have to do that at some stage in their life. When they come to an end of their life in this world, they'll have to stand before him. And will you know that he is your personal Saviour, and is your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life? And to me it's a very humbling experience that God decided to choose me out, even at 10 years old, and reveal something of his holiness and majesty to me. I'm nothing, I'm no one, and it is so extraordinary. But then it is God that decides to choose and give visions and these, what he does to people over their lives, preparing them to bring them to that point where they will surrender to him. Have you surrendered to him? This is the house behind me in Cottingley where the event took place. And as you can see, I zoomed into the bedroom window there because that's the bedroom that I had that experience in.